Inside Science.
Hello, I'm Alistair Jennings, and this is a quick roundup of some of the most interesting stories from the world of science this month. Now, if you see a number appear in the corner, that's the reference to the paper that I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to big news, it doesn't get much bigger than the future of the planet. In its latest report, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that's the IPCC to you and me, says that the world needs to reduce its carbon emissions by at least 49% by 2030 if we want to keep global warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius, which we definitely want to do, because broaching 2 degrees of warming will bring numerous extremely unpleasant consequences. For example, the tropics will have severe heat waves, coastal cities will regularly flood, and 13% of the land on Earth will lose its natural ecosystem. 13% of the world's land will lose its native species. That's the size of the US and Canada put together. And if that wasn't bad enough, according to another study released this month, global beer prices will rise as barley yields diminish. So even if you don't care about kingfishers, fear for your keggers. Now, science can't do much to tackle the political paralysis over global warming, but it can offer technical help. Researchers in China recently showed that if you plant a mix of trees instead of just one species, forests can absorb up to 2 times as much carbon. They tested this by planting 150,000 trees themselves to keep entire forests under experimental control. Then they cut down a sample from each of the different forests, worked out how much carbon was stored in their biomass, and generalized to the rest of the trees. Now, from trees to herbs, or more specifically, herbicides. Roundup is the world's most popular weed killer, but scientists have unearthed some serious problems with it. Roundup's active ingredient is called glyphosate, and a study published in Science, last month in fact, found that glyphosate harms honeybees. But it does so in a kind of sneaky way. Glyphosate blocks an enzyme that plants need to make certain amino acids, but that doesn't directly affect the bees. What it does do is kill the friendly bacteria that live in the bees' guts. This makes bees more susceptible to future infections. And to those of you cheering at the screen because you were stung as a child, I'm sorry to say that glyphosate kills the good bacteria in the stomachs of mammals too. And there's certainly enough of it in our system, 10 times as much as there was 25 years ago. So, herbicides are killing our gut bacteria, but not so other microbes. A study published this month from a lab in New Zealand grew bacteria in some of the world's most widely used herbicides, including Roundup. And instead of killing them outright, these herbicides actually helped the brawny bugs to evolve resistance to certain common antibiotics, and they did so up to 100,000 times faster than control bacteria. So, excessive herbicide use could be contributing to the rise of antibiotic-resistant infections. So, should we always beware the bacteria? Well, not entirely. In the right hands, bacteria turn out to be extremely beneficial, and in this case, for people trying to quit smoking. A group in California published work using a re-engineered bacterial enzyme, and this enzyme can break down nicotine molecules. They gave the enzyme to some nicotine-addicted rats, and voila, the nicotine levels in their blood decreased. This reduced their addictive seeking of the drug and prevented withdrawal behaviour. And that's it for this month. You can find links to other fascinating news stories across Inside Science. I've been Alistair Jennings. Thanks for watching.
Inside Science. If you enjoyed this edition, follow us on the web and social media. Powered by the American Institute of Physics and a coalition of underwriters.